Welcome to the Wayne County Commissioners meeting. Jeff is not here today. He couldn't make it this morning, so you get me. If everybody would rise for the pledge, and if you could stay standing after the pledge, we have a prayer this morning. So, pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege to serve our community and for the responsibility you've entrusted us to do so. We ask for your wisdom, clarity, and unity as we consider today's matters. Guide our words, our decisions, and our actions so that they may reflect integrity, fairness, and a heart for the people of Wayne County. May all that we do honor you and the good of Wayne County. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Aaron. All right, first one we have on the agenda would be Jennifer Romack from the Community Corrections. I think you got a couple things for us. Good morning.
All right, so I'm also here on behalf of Adam McQueen for probation. He was unable to make it this morning, but we are just asking permission for to apply for our annual application to our DOC grant that we apply for every year. Community Corrections is going to be asking this year $411,000 or $411,593, and then probation $88,500. And so we would just ask permission to apply for those grants. The budgets are already also attached. I think you have the budgets.
Yeah, I have copies of them here. Any questions?
I don't have any. I'll make a motion to approve to apply for these grants, and thank you so much for continually looking out for these grants and applying for them every year.
And I will second that. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Also, Bobby has a letter. We just need signatures.
Yes, is that
for
the JRAC grant letter?
It's for also Community Corrections.
Oh, that's for both of them.
Yeah, it's for both.
I think these are both renewals, aren't they?
Yes, they're both renewals.
These are renewals. The letter is for.
It's an attachment. It's just a letter of support attachment for our grant application. DOC is requiring that.
Yep. And we do that every year, don't we? Haven't we done this in a letter?
Yes.
We need another motion for the letter.
Yes, please.
I'll make a motion to approve to send the letter.
I'll second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And none opposed, because we both voted yes, so motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
We will get these signed. Maybe.
That's
Is there a place on these grants for us to sign?
Should be on the front.
Yes.
Just the
just the president, or right?
Yeah.
One signature.
yeah.
Do you want me to wait for that, or do you want Bobby to send
I'll
those?
get it to you.
I'll
Okay.
give it to you.
All right,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next on agenda is Ron Cross.
Thank you. I have a couple of matters. Bobby, do you have the health contract?
They have it, yes.
When Brad went that on the agenda, Jeff had given me instructions to get two things signed, our contract and the health contract. So
Okay.
I've reviewed it, and it's fine with me. Now, you're the one that's kind of been the contact.
Yeah, I've reviewed it. Obviously, this has to go back to Help Shelter. They had a board meeting. They kind of countered our original offer, so we agreed basically to their terms.
Yeah. And I think, while it's written in the contract, it needs to be understood that the limit of the county's contractual commitment to them is based upon the maximum appropriation that the council has made to date. Now, that doesn't mean if they had greater need for funds, and the commissioners were willing to recommend it and council was willing to find those funds and appropriate it, we couldn't do it. But as the contract is written now, and I think that appropriation, correct me if I'm wrong, is $80,000.
$80,000, that is correct.
So, and again,
this
it's a
is-
function of the number.
This is $75,000 based on the numbers
Last year.
Of last year, so
At the,
if we exceed those numbers, we don't have a whole lot of room there, but.
And, you know, I mean, it speaks volumes though of how far we've come and over at my perspective, when I'm going back to the former system that we had, and this is.
Well, this is truly a contract, not a donation.
Absolutely.
It's per dog.
And there's follow-up, there's accountability,
Yep.
and there are priorities as to, you know, preserving the no-kill status, which doesn't mean no kill, but it does limit the use of euthanasia.
And they've been very good to work with. I mean,
Well,
it's
that
been
was the
a,
impression.
it's been a good relationship. And when I started this, 2 years, this is our second year?
Well, I think we kind of felt our way along for a while, put it in writing 1 year, and then this is, I think, the second year, which really has involved a much more intentional look at the entire relationship this year than probably we've engaged in the past.
And what I had told them when I met with them initially is like, it's got to be a win for both the county and for them, because if one is taking advantage of the other, it's not going to last.
And there's a common need. I mean, obviously,
It's an unfortunate need that we have to have, but we have to provide it. So if you've looked over this contract, you're okay with it?
I have,
You,
and Jeff indicated he had no issues with it to me.
and I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve that contract.
and I will second that. Anybody have any further comments on this?
Is that retroactive to January 1?
It is, isn't it, Ron?
Pardon?
Retroactive to January 1?
I believe it is, yeah.
Yep.
It's effective date, the first paragraph.
Yep, January 26th, so, yes.
Perfect.
So we have a motion, and a second. There's no further conversation. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do you need, how many we need of these signed? All four of these?
four.
Okay.
Yep.
What else you got,
The
Ron?
only other thing is Jeff asked me to bring copies of our firm's contract. I haven't been,
We have four,
I've got 3 right here. I kind of made a couple of
I go off of
non-substantive
his.
grammatical changes.
oh, from the original one that you sent us then?
Yeah, I think I changed one of them. Attendance at the workshop as agreed, as I explained to council, the Board of School Trustees of Richmond Community Schools used to meet on the second and fourth Wednesdays. In the course of their strategic planning and reorganization, they converted from 2 meetings a month to 1. They've placed that on the third, which I explained to them and I explained to council and to commissioners that created a standing conflict for me every month. So I will try to do my best to honor the commitment to the county, since it was that's kind of the rule I go by, the one that's first, and you didn't change anything. They did. They didn't consult with me, but that's neither here nor there. But there will be occasions, as there was in February, where I need to be there because of the nature of their business. But so that's the only difference. I think I said as agreed, not as requested, when describing those services. Need 3 copies: one for the auditor, one for our firm, and one for Bobby.
Aaron, do you have any questions or concerns about this? I know this was delayed because we had some other questions.
And I think we're trying to.
And we're working on
Actually,
those.
I think Jeff is working with our managing partner.
Yes.
And I have given them them being the law firm, all the information I have. I think Jeff's fully aware of it. And there will be some issues, and that's just to invite a proposal from them that is in no way obligating the county, the commissioners, council to continue limiting that service provider to our firm. I think there are other options I've talked about with Jeff on occasion. So, but I think what it is doing, and hopefully my plan, as I've indicated to some of you, is, God willing, and everybody's health being a variable, understanding, to continue direct active services through 2027, and then look at some adjustment start of 28. That could change tomorrow.
And it could change tomorrow, or, I mean, it could be here tomorrow. I mean, that will go quickly, so.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. But that's my point. I think it's appropriate to be much more intentional than we probably have been. Jeff and I talked about it a lot of this year, or last year, 25. So
I think as long as we all know going into that's kind of the plan, we kind of starting to think about this succession plan. I have no other concerns or questions on the contract.
And I think, budgeting wise, I think there's going to have to be some considerations given. I've talked to Jeff, I'll have to talk to council for a transition period at some point in time.
Absolutely.
Last year, we ended up having an unusual year with extra work. If you think about it, started out finalizing the wheel tax, and then we've had several pieces of litigation. We have an eminent domain action that we're pending that NDOT dropped us back, but we're going to go ahead with. So there was just a lot that resulted in about $40,000 of extra billings. Hopefully that won't occur this year, although I did suggest don't put it in the contract, but put it in your contracted services line item. And I think in building the 2026 budget, some adjustment was made in that account. So, and hopefully, I know we will have some charges when we complete the Waterfall Road eminent domain. So we did not build anything for those, and there is some pending litigation of which another piece got filed recently that we'll probably need to schedule an executive session to talk about at some point in time. Okay.
My only comment is thank you for your patience on this. I appreciate that, and I know you knew we were going to come to agreement. I mean, I don't think that was ever a concern. But I appreciate your patience on this. And
no, that's really not an issue. Payment's always a month in arrears, so we're talking about January's payments. I mean,
Right.
But if all my clients paid within,
Doing good.
within 3 weeks of the due date, I'd be very happy with that.
Right.
I have no further comments or questions, so
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
we have a motion. I'll second that. So if there's no further discussion, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Motion carries. So we'll get this signed. Sign that one.
And the other thing I just alluded to is that we can talk about, I think we need to schedule an executive session for the recently filed litigation. Mike's been very patient waiting for a comment or official position, and I think we need to have that meeting preliminary to any such
We'll
comments.
get with Jeff and see when we can schedule that.
And I've been in
Sure.
contact with plaintiff's counsel, a very good relationship, and I don't expect there to be any inordinate pushing on their end.
We'll have that, get that scheduled.
That's all I have right now.
Okay, all right. Mr. Higginbotham.
All right. Couple of updates on our projects. The chamber camera system, the contractor still continues to work on that. They were here yesterday with WCTV and did have the new controller and TriCaster hooked up to the cameras. It's working well. They're programming it. Now we're just finalizing the installation, so we should see that switch over in a couple of weeks.
Good.
So that's the switch over, you mean, so they're going to do away with the standing up camera and then have a control center over there, correct?
Yeah.
And everything will be ran through these cameras.
Right, and then they'll be able to select which camera view that they want.
If somebody was speaking out in the crowd, they can go to that, so
Right.
that's exciting.
It is exciting. Well, not really exciting, but.
Well, it's exciting to me because I thought it should have been worked this way in the first place, but
Well, it's government, remember? And
no, I
you
know,
have-
but I will never
I know
accept
You have little
that
patience
excuse.
for that, don't
I
you?
will not accept that excuse.
Okay. Anyway, we're getting there. And then the front entrance of the courthouse project, that's starting to start up again. We've got our agreement with Richmond Power and Light, which we were very grateful that they agreed to leave the pedestals and the wiring system for those outside lights. And so now we're scheduling for having them to remove their lights, and so our lights that we have in the project can be installed.
Have we done anything with landscaping? I don't remember, so we haven't done a contract, did we get bids?
Yes, there's a base contract in the.
In the
that,
contract.
And you decided upon the landscaping around the courthouse. Remember that.
That's right,
There are going to be
yep.
some rocks and some grassy areas, and so you've already approved that.
That's going to be part of this, what they're
That's-
getting ready to work on now.
Exactly.
So
And
start
that's built into
looking
the
a
contract.
little bit nicer out there.
Right, and so that's built into the contract, and that's part of the funding in there.
Okay.
Then the other one is the west side security entrance. Remember that it's our intent to go to bids to rebuild that security entrance where the sheriff's department brings their prisoners into the courthouse, and where we use to have repair trucks come up to the west side of the courthouse and get into the boiler room. The project that would consist of, the first option is to rebuild what is there. An alternate to the project then is to make that a continual circle drive, which would improve the safety so that the sheriff's van wouldn't have to back out onto 3rd Street. And then it also includes putting a fencing up around that arch area so that potential intruders cannot hide behind the chiller there that as they bring prisoners into the courthouse. So the first option is to make it a circle drive. The second option is the height of the fencing. If you remember, that's got an arch opening there. So in the base bid is to go up about 8 feet with the decorative fencing. Then there's an alternate to enclose that entire amount. So what I'm looking for this morning is approval to go forward with advertising that and putting that out for bids. The bid documents are finished. If you'll authorize Bobby and I to work together to get advertising in place, it'll be advertised twice and then set up for a bid opening probably sometime 1st of April.
Yeah,
Do you have any questions on that?
no, I'll make a motion to go ahead and start the bidding process. This project we've been talking about for quite a while, and I think it's time to get moving
In
on
the
this.
spring now, so I'll second that motion. I'm excited to get that one done, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries.
Ron, do you want the bid documents in hard copy or electronic?
Pardon?
You want the bid documents in hard copy or electronic for your review?
I'll take a look at them, but I mean, if it's NDOT,
No, this would be LWC, this would be our bidding document.
okay, yeah, I'll take a look, primarily the front end.
I have those electronically too, confirmed that way, so. And the second item, or the next item I'd like to do, the Fleet Management Committee had heard a presentation from a vendor. And I think it raises some real good possibilities for us about the way we purchase vehicles in our fleet. And two things that what is out there. There's a variety of options that are available on how you manage your fleet, whether you lease, whether you purchase, and how you sell those vehicles once we're done with them, and then how the fleet is actually managed during the course of our ownership or use of the vehicles. So I think what I'm asking for today is for the commissioners to approve going forward, and the most important piece of this is being part of a cooperative to expand our purchasing power from not just locally, but statewide and nationwide. I'll work with Ron to how that applies to local government and how it.
That was going to be my question, how that applies if you.
I've got some information for Ron to look at. Other governmental entities in Indiana are using this. I've got documents from those communities for you to look at. Got the statute, I think, that applies to it. But, and then I would like to go forward just to get a cost estimate of what this would look like to us. It obviously wouldn't be set in stone, but using our current fleet, the current status of the fleet, the number of cars that we have and the mileage that each car has, to get us a sense of what kind of savings, if any, this could provide for us. So I'm simply looking for your blessing to go forward with that.
Just an exploratory blessing then. 'Cause
Not-
I can see a lot of questions. This is obviously something that's not what we've done in the past, so it's
Not.
something different. So it's,
Yep.
we don't want to jump in with both feet
But I
without
found,
having all,
exactly, but I found other Indiana communities who are doing this now, and
that, I'm curious to see what you find if you're, suppose you're going to talk to them too, or.
oh, yeah. And I've got, for example, Hamilton County uses this, and I've got their,
And they always have brand-new
I
vehicles.
know, so I've got their documents for Ron to look at.
Well, and I think even the existing purchasing policy statute under special purchases is
It will-
broad enough
Exactly.
to
That's right.
allow that under the concept of a unique opportunity for savings.
Right.
Apart from the
In essence,
platform purchase.
in essence, that's the approach. Yeah.
And I have a fairly good relationship, and I think Aaron does too, and I'm sure Jeff does too, with the commissioners in Hamilton County that reach out to them, and once you get some more information, talk to them, say, okay, is this truly working out the way you think it is?
So I'm just simply looking for your blessing to move forward with that.
I'll make that motion
I'll
that
second it.
we allow Steve to continue to explore down this avenue. So we have a motion. If there's no further discussion on that.
So I was part of the fleet meeting that, when they presented this, and I will say, initially talking to them and then going through and listening to the presentation, I mean, it really, at first I didn't know where I was, but after hearing the presentation and some of the possibilities, I'm like, my ears perked up, and I'm like, I think it's well worth looking into some more, and at least seeing what we can go with. I think a lot of people in that meeting were somewhat surprised of what they can do. Would you agree with that, Steve?
Right, and this cooperative purchasing actually opens it up to beyond just vehicles.
Yeah.
There's other services and,
Well, I think it's very interesting. I'm very much open to it, especially since a county like Hamilton County, who has a lot more revenue than we do coming in, that they do this. So I'm very curious to see where it goes. So we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. So go forth and be prosperous.
okay,
Thanks, Steve.
and that's all I have.
Okay. We got a few more minutes before we have to take a recess for the drainage board. So we got the help taken care of. Do you have a hotel rate?
I do. Hotel rates for $169 a night in Indianapolis for the recorder's office. I'll make a motion to approve that.
Okay. I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Motion carries. Okay, I think we got that. Well, let's take a 5-minute break and have the drainage board. It's going to take a few minutes to get the camera set back up, and
Yep.
then we'll reconvene after the drainage board.
Perfect, thank you.
Morning, welcome to the Wayne County Drainage Board. First business, I think we have some minutes we need to approve, or?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from January 14, 2026.
I'll second that. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. Do we have anything else other than, before I turn it over to Gordon Moore, our surveyor and head honcho of the drainage boards, AKA ditch board?
Head honcho, huh?
Head honcho.
Wow.
That's you. I promoted you this morning.
New title.
Yeah. We'll get you some business cards for that.
Well, John Wayne in Honcho was always one of my favorite movies.
I'm starting to show my age by saying that.
All right, what we're going to ask for is the 25% increase for the legal drains. And we've given you the list of those: the Quig Ditch, A.F. Scott Ditch, Russell, O'Brien, the Kane Ditch, Winfield, Gephardt. On the sheet with the yellow on it is all the ditches that we're collecting for this year. And the only one that we're going to add to that is the Gephardt Ditch, which we have not collected on since 2013. So if you recall, we can do the 25% increase without going through public notice and notifying all the people within the watershed. And if you can take a look at the balances, you can see that there's very small amounts on each ditch. And if we have any kind of repair, we're going to use that up real quickly, like we did some years ago on the Russell Ditch, where we went in the hole about $30,000. We've paid that back out of the improvement fund, but we still owe over $20,000.
And I think you have stated in the past that we will be doing some.
Oh, absolutely.
And the one there on South 37th is definitely going to be.
Yeah, we're still a lot of questions about the South 37th Street. The report came back, I think you're all aware of that. And what the sanitary district is going to do or not going to do is still up in the air. I've inquired that a number of times, and they just aren't making any decision on how they want to proceed. And until they proceed, then we have nothing to do with it. So
The actual development plan has not been finalized to the point where you could then go to the next step of a drainage plan to accommodate the development. Is that kind of where they are? Or?
on South 37th Street, that development? No, absolutely not. They're nowhere near that as far as we're concerned. Everything I've seen to this point, Ron, is preliminary. They haven't come back with a final set. So if you
I
have-
will ask in her honor, because she's no longer on this board, Mary Ann question for you.
Oh,
Is there
goodness.
anybody particular that's going to be hit significantly? That was one of Mary Ann's favorite questions.
Absolutely not. No, when you take a look at the watershed now, it's spread out. And even if in the A.F. Scott, I don't know if you recall, because Brad, you weren't here, but when we first put that back onto the assessment rolls just a few years ago, it had been off for a long, long period of time. And then during that period of time, a lot of development had happened within that watershed. So the minimum you can charge is $5 a lot. So a lot of those subdivision lots ended up with a charge of $5. And that was one of her main concerns. But we had far less complaints than what she said we would get. I think less than 10, if I recall.
And I think in the past, since I've been here the last 3 years, we've done this kind of routinely
Yes, we have.
because we have to maintain them, and we've gotten almost zero complaints because
Not to my
I think
knowledge.
people are most appreciative that we actually maintain these ditches and so that they don't flood their yards and their houses, so,
And their farmlands.
in their
Yeah,
farmland, so. it's-
Absolutely.
It's one of those necessary evils, so. Aaron, do you have any further questions?
I don't have anything.
Ron, is there anything that we need to concern
No, I
ourselves?
think
Thank you.
action on the proposed increases to
Okay.
approve and authorize signature.
I'll make a motion that we approve the increases.
And I'll second that. If there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, motion carries. Any other issues? Do you have nothing else to? Well, then, we're done with the drainage boards. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome back to the Commissioners' meeting. Steve, do you want to talk about the proposal or the fire protection?
Right, don't misunderstand, this isn't actually fire protection. These are components that we use in our buildings, the fire extinguishers, the fire suppression over the hood of the stove at the jail, and then our inspections of our sprinkler systems. Our fire protection is actually done in-house because the 911 center is here. It doesn't make sense to contract with an outside agency just to call ourselves. So our dialers dial directly into 911 rather than through a third monitoring party, which obviously a lot of businesses
So
do
this
that.
is the maintenance of our fire extinguishers?
Yeah, so our fire extinguishers get inspected on a regular basis. They get replaced after so many years of in-service to ensure that they're still charged like they're supposed to. Obviously, we have a number of fire extinguishers in a number of buildings. Just a sample, in the jail itself, we have 35 fire extinguishers. I think in the cars, there are number 26 extinguishers. And so these are just something that gets serviced and checked on a regular basis. So we currently use another vendor. We've searched out, this is a local vendor. It's actually in Wayne County and Cambridge City. It's family owned. They've been in business about 20 years. They get excellent Google ratings. We've asked them to give a quote on these fire protection systems, if you will, and it's significantly lower than our current vendor that we use. I see no downside to this. It's a service provided to us, and so I don't think this goes through our purchasing policy to require quotes. This is significantly lower than what we're using today, and I think that we should move from our current vendor to Sensor security system, which is out of Cambridge City, and I think it's a no-brainer to me. It's a significant savings.
And this would include annex, courthouse, sheriff's department, sheriff's vehicles, anywhere that we have fire extinguishers
And
and
health building.
help them. So this is all of them, and I think one of the concerns is that whether we had a contract with the other,
Yeah, we don't.
it was just a service they did and we paid it when they came annually. Do you know, has that been done yet this year?
So it depends on the building. Some of them have not been, some of them have been done already. And again, for example, like the hood suppression is done every 6 months, so it's not necessarily on a calendar year, it's every 6 months. So we can obviously get that information of when the next inspection period is.
Well, we just don't want both of them showing up. This will be a contract with this company though, right? So we'll have an annual contract, or is it still just a service agreement
Yeah,
that
I
they
think
come up?
this is a service agreement. The way I read it, it's just a service agreement. There's not you're not tied to any particular time frame on it. It's just moving that service from one vendor to another.
Does Ron need to take a look at this, or has he looked at it, or?
I don't think he's seen it, but I don't think he needs to look at it. Not that I don't want you to look at it, but
When it's appropriate, I mean, I'll take a look at it, but it sounds like.
I'll forward him the emails. And
So you're making a recommendation that we move forward with
Yes.
this? And of course, it's a Western Wayne, so that makes me happy.
no, I can't believe it.
Hey, now,
I couldn't find one in Hagerstown.
I'm sure you looked
Oh,
for
my
it. so.
goodness.
Aaron, you have any further questions?
No, I'll make a motion to approve it. And pending anything Ron may see, but I mean,
I don't predict anything.
I agree, yeah.
Okay, I'll second that motion. The only thing that I have further to say is that this company was brought to us by the sheriff, so we'll give him credit for saving the county some money here.
But see, it doesn't come out of his budget.
I know, that's the thing.
See, I'm
I think
thinking-
that company contacted him,
Right.
and he went down the rabbit hole and found out that he
When
didn't
there
have
a
the
movie
contract, we
When there are
did.
movies saying spending other people's money, you know, this is out of my budget, so.
So this is out of grounds and
Building ground.
Ground, so. Even better, so we're saving money. So we have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. So do we need to sign anything?
No, I'll work with, first I'll let Ron take a look at it, but then I'll work with the vendor to finalize because I've not seen one, which I assume is going to be the same price, because they did price the per fire extinguisher unit, so I know what that's going to be. I don't have one yet for the cars, for the sheriff's cars, and I don't think I've seen one yet for the health department either, so we'll get that finalized and get the dates of the last inspections of how this would switch over.
Well, good. And he's a former Air Force guy, so.
And this is a service agreement, not a contract, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
All right. Steve, do you have anything else then?
No, I do not.
Beth, are you ready? I
I'm
know you
ready.
just walked in, but we're ready for you.
Well, Simona gave me a heads up.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Simone. Because she didn't want to, because I put the pressure on her and said that she had to talk for the next 15 minutes. She didn't show up, so.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
Beth Fields, County Treasurer. So today I'm presenting the service agreement for the printing of our 25, pay 26 tax bills. Ron, you had a copy in advance. If you have any concerns, commissioners, I've shared it with you as well. I have 2 copies for signature. I will explain. This is the group that we used last year. They do a good job, have no complaints. Their service has been excellent. I did, just for fun, last year in November, I got a quote from a company out of Iowa. They were actually $618 more than L&D. The only thing we could do was base it on 25 fees, because those were the real fees. We can't project 26. Of course,
I
postage
appreciate
is
you
postage.
doing that, because it's always good to, we get in a rut of saying, well, we've always done this, so let's, not that we don't trust our vendors, or kind of, just to keep them honest and say, there may be something about there cheaper. Most of the times, we find out it's not, because they want to keep a clientele and they provide good service, no matter what the service contract is. So, but thank you for
Well,
at
they're
least
in
checking.
Indiana, that's a plus too. I did actually, Midwest Presort, they made a cold call, and I said, well, tell me what you can do, and they gave me prices, but honestly, I couldn't compare apples to apples. But I didn't dive into it too greatly, but the other folks, I think we have a good deal. And so if there are no questions, I would request that on behalf of the county, the commissioners do sign 2 copies,
Yeah,
one for your
right.
files, one for mine.
And so this is right in line with what we've been paying, right? I mean, it's per letter or per notification, correct?
Yes. The only thing that's a little bit different this year, the recorder's office asked if the slip that we put inside is one-sided. They ask if on the back side we could print information about DocsPop and Property Record Watch.
Good idea.
Because of, well, it's a lot of information on the back of that page. We'll see if it causes problems or questions. That's going to cost an extra $1,200 to make it 2-sided, and the recorder is going to pick up that extra fee.
So the total service fee is $18,257.
And that's an estimate. That's
'Cause
exactly
it's
what they
based on
estimated
per-
last year.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve that. I've had an opportunity to see that. so.
And I looked at it. I just had a couple questions there, so I'll second that motion.
Ron, you're okay?
Ron?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically the same, essentially a little under 10,000 for the base services, and then the rest, the biggest variable is postage, which is actual, isn't it?
Last year, the bill print was about 11,000, and the rest was, it was about 11,000, and the rest was postage. And if there is an overpayment or an underpayment of the postage that the commissioner has already funded, that will go against the print bill. It'll either come off as a credit or go on as a debit, and we'll have to pay. But we don't know that until
That's kind of up in the air. All right, well, if we have we have a motion and a second, and no further comments, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? It's approved.
Thank you.
We'll sign this real quick, and
So just so the public knows, by law, those bills have to be in the mail by April 15th. We're shooting to have them out April 8th, maybe the 10th. We're all just lined up in the chute, waiting for for everything to be done, put together, the software meshed, and the tax bills to be printed.
you don't have to sign this. It's just one signature on it.
Perfect.
And I'll fill in titles and dates, so.
There's one. Riveting TV here while I'm signing this.
Well, while you're signing, do you have any questions of me or my office?
How's things going? Everything going good?
I think they're going very good. I always say we have a good staff in the office. They take good care of the taxpayers. This year, I'm not a deer in the headlights. I'm able to plan.
You weren't last
Well,
year.
Yes,
It's
yes,
just-
I was. But just like this, I was able to know in advance what to ask, what to look for, get a quote. The more I'm around other treasurers in the association, not only do I know who to ask questions for the best advice, I also know what questions to ask. I know the hot topics. State Board of Accounts has been helpful, so.
I mean, that's.
The more experience you get.
And I appreciate you being humble, but that is typical and normal for any elected official that's never done a job. I was in the same boat 3 years ago. I came in here. I kind of had an idea, but you really don't until you start doing the job. And
But you think you do.
oh yeah, you think you just, I got a handle on it, but it takes you. I feel like now, after 3 years, I have a great handle on it. I still learn every day, but I feel a lot more comfortable. So, you're probably ahead of the curve because you've been here. You knew government, so which helps.
That is very helpful, yeah. And I think we have a good working relationship with the auditor's office. We're always putting our heads together and bouncing off ideas when things aren't going in a straight line. I will give the auditor's office a great deal of credit, the wheel and surtax, getting that in place, making the first distribution. That was a little nerve-wracking because we've
Well, it's
never done
important
it
that you
before.
have cooperation and work with each other. So that's.
And if I'm correct, Simona had a huge part in that, correct?
Oh, just
Right.
getting
I mean,
the account
her-
set up
her
with the
personally,
state
I mean,
so we
yeah.
know where it goes, absolutely. Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
When we got that first nickel in the account, she just about did backflips because she found out it worked. So yeah, they put in a lot of work, and Stephanie in her office is doing all the accounting for it.
Great.
Yeah, it's working out.
Thank you.
Your sign.
Thank you.
Good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Just in time for Tara Pegg. Good
No,
morning.
you're good.
What are you sorry for? You're right on time. You're
Oh,
early.
perfect.
That's what we
Perfect.
like. So, what do you got for us?
I'm just here to make a new announcement for the vote centers. January 15th, the County Election Board met at the courthouse, and we drove over to Centerville to look at our previous location that was at the Centerville Christian Church in Centerville. And we looked at our new location that we was looking at the Nazarene Church in Centerville. And on February 10th, after carefully reviewing both locations, the Wayne County Election Board voted to move the vote center from Christian Church in Centerville to the Centerville Church of the Nazarene on US 40. It's across from the Gillum's home center. And we feel like the board determined that it would be easier to move to this location to make it easable for the voters to enter and
Good.
And I take it do
accessible.
you lease these locations from the churches, or they donate, or how does that work?
We pay them $25 a day.
So not a lot, so.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
So it's more of a community service from those organizations?
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
And we appreciate them being
Yeah,
willing
absolutely.
to do that, so.
Both churches have worked really well with our county election board, and nothing against the churches or anything, but they've worked, but we just feel like it's better for the voters.
So this is no action on the commissioners you need. You just mainly wanted to come in and make it informative, and so that the viewing public and Mike from Western Wayne News could maybe print that so people know, to kind of give them a heads up that there's a change in the is there any other locations changing? Is that the only one?
This is the only one. This is the
Thank
only-
goodness,
and
right?
this location's only open on election day for the primary in general.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Tara.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, let's see what else we have. We have here, so you have some bills?
I do have some things here real quick before I get into the bills and minutes. So I have a letter here for one of our employees that's going to be retiring after 47 years. And retirement is for this Friday. And I would like to, I know that you've had an opportunity to read it. I've read it. And I know Jeff has read it as well. But just want to make sure that we're aware and we're good with signing this letter. I'm very pleased to do this after 47 years of service to the county. That's pretty impressive that this individual has
It's just a
worked for-
certificate of recognition of.
That's all it
of her
is. Yep.
47 years of dedicated to Wayne County, so
Yes,
I'll
so-
make that motion that we, unless you were making the motion,
I'll second it. How's that?
I'll make the motion that we sign it, and you
Yep.
second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Not opposed?
And then it'll be presented to her Friday at her retirement party. So, all right. Thank you very much for that. And then I have meeting minutes from February 11th, 2026. I'll make a motion to approve those.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then the following claims: Boston Mutual dated February 20th, 2026. State local payroll taxes dated February 20th, 2026. PERF federal payroll taxes dated February 20th, 2026. General payroll dated February 20th, 2026. Dun and garnishments dated February 20th, 2026. General claims dated 2/25/2026. Jury pay dated 2/23/2026. Wheel and surtax paid on 2/20/2026. Reissuance of lost warrant paid 2/20/26. And jury pay dated 2/19/2026. Make a motion to approve those claims.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And that is all I have,
What
sir.
else? You have nothing else? Other than the help shelter contract, so we've got that approved, I have nothing. Bobby, I'm kind of out of the routine here, so you got like,
Good.
anything else? Steve? You good? Ron? Simona?
I'm sorry. I
You
did
said
one
you
more.
were done.
I know. I had an opportunity to go to the National Association of Counties
yeah, thank you.
legislative update. I was there last Friday and just returned last night. It was held in Washington DC. Great conference. Got to talk to a lot of different individuals about a lot of different things going. Just so you know, Indiana is not the only state looking at property tax reform. I mean, it's a pretty hot topic across the states. I will say, talking to the other states, we are very fortunate in Indiana on our property tax, even though I know any tax, I mean, a lot of people would like to say, why are we paying tax on property already owned? But to pay for general services and different things that the county and the cities provide, schools and libraries and all those services, those funding has to come from somewhere, and that's where most of our funding comes from for those services here in Indiana. But as far as Indiana and what we pay for property taxes compared to other states, I spoke to a lady who lives in California, lives in California. Swear to you, she promised. She lives in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house on a 1/4 acre land, and she pays $17,000 a year in property taxes. Wow. I know that's California. I know that's right the extreme.
But in comparison
but
to where,
when you compare that to Indiana and how we talk property taxes in Indiana, my goodness, we are very blessed. And even talking to the states around us, Illinois, Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, Minnesota, West Virginia, we are on our property taxes, we're very fortunate on what we pay. So really good discussions about property taxes, a lot of good discussions about data centers. I learned a lot more about data centers than really what's being promoted and pushed out there. What's being promoted and pushed isn't 100% factual. Surprise, right? It's not just Chat GPT. It is every way of life. It's your Alexa in your house. It's your cell phone. It's anything you would store in a cloud. That's data centers. Anything, any way of life, your car, information in your car, how it works, technology in general. That's your data centers. And I mean, so when we look at that, I mean, and there are a lot of good fundings from data centers, still very cautious on how, if that were to ever be an issue or something brought up in Wayne County, very cautiously how we would go forward with that. It does use electricity. It does have employees. I mean, they have more employees than what we're being told and what we would perceive. One of those you'd have people coming in and out because they rent spaces to technology companies who are using, basically it's servers. It's a room full of servers.
so as long as
And that's
we
what it
want
is,
technology,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to have data centers.
We're gonna have to, because you have to have space to store the information. Just like your phone, if you have a phone and it runs out of memory, we're gonna run out of memory, storing in the cloud too, eventually, if we don't continue to build these, because technology and everything that's happening is just more and more and more all the time.
I would like to thank you for volunteering to heads up any information about data centers and when it potentially comes up to Wayne County.
Right.
So appreciate you volunteering for that, Aaron.
So those were two really big topics that I really got into and dove into at the conference. There were a lot of other things too, but it was a very good conference and very good conversations with colleagues across the states and just what they go through and what they.
Congressman Sharif too.
I did meet, got with them. I was able to go to the White House. Went to the Library of Congress. Was able to get in there as well for one of our sessions, and just a really good visit overall, and very very well set up by NACO, and but a very good conference and very good information, and a lot of stuff cooking and moving. So
Well, it's good to always see other states and other communities, what they're doing, so.
Yep.
Thank you for going.
Thank you for that moment.
Nope.
Appreciate it.
You done now?
I am done. I'm
Anybody
sorry.
else? I think we're done. Meeting adjourned.